Dear 10th class students, today we are starting the chapter circles. Okay, so first we are defining what is circle. See, the collection of all points in a plane which are equidistant from a fixed point in the same plane is called a circle. See, this the collection of all points in a plane so that which are at a fixed distance, at a constant distance from a fixed point in the same plane is called a circle. So this is a circle. This collection of points is circle. The path, the point P is following, the path which the point P is following is circle. Understood? This path. And this fixed point is known as center of the circle, and this constant distance is called radius. So all radii of a circle are equal. This is about circle. Understood? Now various definitions in circle chapter we'll discuss. Okay? First and foremost, we are beginning about arc. Arc, a continuous piece of circle, a continuous piece of circle is known as arc. According to the size, arcs are divided into two parts. Arcs are classified like minor arc and major arc basing on its size. The arc which length is more, it is called major arc. The arc whose length is less comparing to that arc, it is called minor arc. See, this is a circle. See, from here to here, say you are taking a continuous piece, say APB. The continuous piece of this circle APB is known as arc APB, and you can denote like this. This is the notation, arc. And this is, now if you take here Q, this is also another arc, arc AQB. The arc AQB. Both are arcs of the same circle. Both are the continuous pieces of the circles. Now, if you compare arc APB and arc AQB, arc ABB is smaller one, size-wise, length-wise. Arc APB is smaller one, arc AQB is larger one. So this is called minor arc, and this is called major arc. Understood? Now, we are going to discuss about semicircle. Semicircle. See, the diameter of a circle divides the circle into two equal parts, which are two equal arcs, and that each equal arc is known as semicircle. See, this is a circle, this is the center, this is diameter. So diameter of the circle divides the circle into two equal parts, which are two equal arcs. One is APB, where AB is diameter, and another is AQB. So here arc APB and arc AQB are equal in lengths because they formed by diameter. Diameter is dividing the circle into two equal arcs. Okay? So each of these arcs is known as semicircle. Understood? So that is semicircle. Next, our next definition is sector of the circle. Sector means the region bounded between two radii and the connecting arc is known as sector of the circle. See, this is a circle with center C. These are two radii, and there's okay. These are the endpoints of these radii. So, and this is the arc which is connecting the endpoints of these radii. Now, the region bounded between these two radii and this connecting arc is known as sector of the circle. So, this is sector of the circle. Sector of the circle, and this is called minor sector, and this is called major sector. So this is minor sector, this is major sector. Understood what is sector of a circle? Once again I repeat, you see, the region bounded between two radii and the connecting arc of the circle is known as sector of the circle. Next, segment of the circle. The chord of a circle, okay? See, this is the chord of circle. Chord means you know, okay. Chord means, okay, first let us define chord. Chord means the line segment which joins any 2 points on the circle. The line segment which joins any 2 points on the circle is known as chord. So this is chord because it is joining 2 points on the circle. This is chord. Now, region bounded between a chord of circle, okay, and an arc of the circle, region bounded between this chord and this arc. See, you are seeing here the region bounded between this chord and this arc. This is called segment of the circle. This is chord, this is arc, and this is the region bounded between chord and arc. It is called segment of the circle, and this is minor segment and it would be major segment. Understood? Now see here, dear students, position of a line with respect to a circle which both lie in the same plane. See, position of a line with respect to a circle which both lie in the same line. See, same plane. See here, there is a circle and there is a line that both are lying in the same plane. So how they can be? So what are the possible cases if a circle and a line are lying in the same plane? See, there are three possibilities. Number one, see, this is a plane, you say, this is a plane alpha. So in this plane alpha, there is a circle and there is a line like this. So how they are here? You see, here both are in the same plane so that they do not have any common point. So here circle and line has no common point at all. So you can say this is one of the possible cases where you can see a circle and a line. So what is the second case? The circle and a line can be in a plane. So here you see, this is a line and circle which are intersecting. This line is intersecting the circle at two different points, P and Q. Are you following? This line is intersecting the circle at two different points, P and Q. So this line is called secant of the circle. That line is called secant of the circle. Here the circle and line will have 2 points in common. Okay? Understood? So if a line is intersecting a circle at two different points on it, then that line is called secant of the circle. Right. What is the third case here? You see, there is a circle and there is a line here. So how these two are here? You see, the circle and line are meeting at only one point on it. So there is only one common point for both circle and line. There is one common point. So only one common point. It's only one common point. In that case, that line is said to be tangent to the circle. So here the line L, you say L. So here the line L is tangent to the circle. Understood? So what is tangent to the circle? I think you understood. Now, so now here we are going to discuss about the length of tangent. See, there is a tangent to a circle at some point P. So this P is point of contact. What is point of contact means? The common point for the tangent and the circle, the common point for the tangent and the circle is known as point of contact. So this is point of contact. Right? And say this is any given point on the tangent, say some A. So A is some given point on the tangent. Are you following? Now the distance from A to P or the length of the line segment AP is known as the length of tangent. So length of tangent means you have understood, I think. So length of tangent means from any given point on the tangent to the point of contact, the distance between any given point on the tangent to the point of contact is known as length of tangent. Now you have learned what is length of tangent. Now here we are going to discuss some theorems, okay, depending on tangents, okay, tangents to the circle. The first theorem on tangents is, if a line is tangent to the circle, then it is perpendicular to the radius at the point of contact. See, here the L is tangent to the circle, A is point of contact. The CA is radius. So by this theorem, L is perpendicular to CA. So at A, we have to prove L is perpendicular to CA at A. Okay? So first let us write given L is, the line L is tangent to the circle with center C. The line L is tangent to the circle with center C. Okay? And A is point of contact. So what is required to prove? CA is perpendicular to L. This is what we are supposed to prove. Understood? Now we will proceed with proof. See, now let us choose a point on tangent L. Say that point is B, which is on tangent L, okay, other than A, okay. So choose a point B on tangent L other than the point A and join C to B. So same what I said, that has to be written, but I am not writing. Choose point B on the tangent line L other than A. That is what we are supposed to write. So that B obviously lies, because it is the point other than A, this point B obviously lies, okay, outside the circle. Because what is the reason for us to say it is outside means, first and foremost, we are saying it is a point on the tangent line, and where A is the point of contact. A is the point of contact, B is a point on the tangent line. Okay? Then obviously it should lie outside the circle only, because if it is inside the circle B, then that line cannot be tangent, then it would be secant. Following, no? But he has given it is tangent. So obviously that B should lie outside the circle. So B obviously lies outside the circle. Therefore that CB definitely is greater than CA. Obviously, see, CA is radius, CB is a distance from C for a point outside of the circle. So obviously CB is greater than CA, or CA is lesser than CB. Similarly, for any point, the same thing will happen. Say that any point is P. Similarly, for any point P on the tangent, okay, you see CP is less than, are you following now? CA is lesser than CP. Are you following? So how we have proved here for a point B, which is a point on the tangent. Similarly, you take any point on the tangent, any point P, suppose say, any point P other than A on the tangent, you can see the same thing will happen. What the same thing will happen? That P lies outside, so that the distance from C to P obviously greater than radius, or radius is lesser than CP. So like this, you can see everywhere the same thing will happen. So among all these distances from C to various points P, B, Q, R, among all these distances CP, CB, CQ, CR, CA is the shortest one. Therefore, CA is the shortest distance. CA is the shortest one. So we have discussed in 9th standard a theorem among all the line segments that can be drawn from a fixed point to the various points on the line. Okay, the shortest one would be perpendicular. This is a theorem which you have learned in 9th standard. So as this is the shortest one, therefore it is a perpendicular to the line. So CA is perpendicular to line L, and it's proved. So like this, if a line is tangent to the circle, okay, it is perpendicular to radius at the point of contact. See, dear students, now we are discussing converse of the above theorem. If a line is perpendicular to radius at its end point, then the line is tangent to the circle at that point. See here, there is a line L, and this line is perpendicular to radius CA at the end point of the radius. Okay, then this line is tangent to the circle. That's what we are supposed to prove. So now given, okay, given is L is perpendicular to CA. Required to prove L is tangent to the circle at A. So what is proof? As CA is perpendicular to L, CA would be lesser than CB. CA would be lesser than CP, CQ, because we have a theorem in 9th standard. Among all line segments that can be drawn from a fixed point to the various points on a line, the perpendicular is the shortest one. So CA is lesser than CB. So obviously, okay, B should lie outside the circle. Similarly, for any point other than A on L, that point goes outside the circle. Okay? Similarly, for any other point on L, the same thing will happen. That means that point goes outside the circle. That means, what does it mean? Okay, the line L is meeting the circle at only one point A. Therefore, the line is tangent to the circle at A. This ends the proof. Understood?